Hey everyone, this is Roota Mittal. I am the creator of the Vortex Mastermind. So, what is Vortex? Vortex is my signature mastermind, which helps you turn your skills, expertise, and passion into a 6 and 7 figure brand. And today, I'm so excited to interview Tejal Chopra. Tejal is a Vortex Mastermind client, an Instagram expert, has her own coaching program. She also is ex Amazon, so she quit her job to build her 6 figure brand. Welcome, Tejal. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you so much, Ruta. Hi, and hi, everyone who will be watching this later. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm really excited to chat with you about all things Vortex and marketing for sure.
Yeah, so tell us, what is your niche? What do you do in your own words?
Cool. So basically, I have, like you said, I quit Amazon 5 years ago, and it has been like any other business, a lot of pivoting. Currently, I am a freelance coach. I help existing and aspiring freelancers get started and build a really solid and scalable business for themselves, not just as a hobby, not just here and there, but truly build and scale a sustainable business, which is aligned with their lifestyle as well. So
That's so
that's what
cool.
I do mainly. Yeah.
Yeah, could you tell us more about how you help people? Because I keep seeing your, stories where people are getting results based on your program. So just for everyone watching, how do you help people?
Absolutely. I have a signature program known as Freelance Growth Accelerator, wherein we get deeper into the 5S roadmap, which is the success roadmap that we follow inside, which helps them start. Even if someone has started earlier, we help them strengthen their foundation. And so much is there to unlearn because of all the knowledge that's available online. So we help them like regather all the stuff that is actually needed to build a strong, solid foundation. Then we help them with their skill set in case they are a freelancer who does not have an existing skill set. They want to get started. They want to get started to make money online, doing legit stuff, none of the spammy, scammy kind of things that are out there. Then we help them become a social media marketer by utilizing that skill set. However, if they have an existing skill set, we help them leverage that and start attracting and working with high paying clients across the globe. So the clients that my students have been able to attract, close, convert, and retain. That is one very important part of the program. I'll come to that. Basically, that go upwards of like $1,000, $2,000 per month client retainers for social media marketing exclusively as well. And not just the selling, but we also focus on retaining, that is serving the client so well that they want to keep working with you, because social media is such kind of a world wherein it's not just a project wherein it's a monthly or 2 3 month project. It can be an ongoing association, provided you and the client are aligned on where it's going and how it's literally growing. So we help them actually increase their retention as well as get more referrals while they do that. And once, of course, they're ready to scale beyond those 3 lakh, 5 lakh months as a freelancer, once they reach that stage, then we help them scale as well. That's like it in a nutshell.
Yeah. And you joined Vortex, I believe, I think 15 months ago. Then, of course, you renewed to spend another year with us, which we are so excited about. So tell me, how was your business doing 15 months ago?
For sure. So basically, I had transitioned to coaching while I was already an agency. We were serving clients across the globe. And I had just gotten started there, but I had no direction. And I launched my first program. This was like, I think 2 years ago, like even well a year before Vortex happened. And it was all over the place. I knew the kind of value we were bringing was amazing. But in order to put it all together, to build a scalable offer, to get constant traffic into it, to literally scale it up, I had no direction. And I was, of course, like I had so much on my hands with the agency that it was like all over the place, to be very true. So I then actually took a year to build something really from scratch again, because I was pivoting in my business and I wanted to go from Instagram coaching to actually helping freelancers start and then build this whole machine for themselves in order to sell their skill set, because I had done it well as a freelancer and then as an agency. So I thought I knew this thing, so I can probably put it in a way that sells better. So just when I joined Vortex, I had like, actually it was in the middle of the launch of my first batch or first cohort of Freelance Growth Accelerator, which is my signature program. The launch was going well, but I again did not have that clear direction and the kind of support that I needed, because I knew a lot of things, and the main thing that I was struggling with at that time was I was like with my mind being into 10 different things. Like, should we go in for this strategy to scale this, how to serve, because this was also a pre-launch. We were still building the program, and it was getting overwhelming because it is a huge program for anyone to learn. It is immensely beneficial, but at the same time I did not want it to be like so big in terms of just the content that it becomes less effective. So I really wanted that kind of support, and I, although was in the middle of the launch, I took this decision. I remember 2 days of my launch were pending, and the day I signed up for Vortex, it was 12 a.m. in the night. The next day was our last day, I think, and we were like, that was the highest day for our launch. That was coincidentally, but I'm sure it's somewhere it aligns with the energy, because I truly wanted to take FGA in the right direction for it to reach the right people, and also to have the right mind space for myself. Because last year, I also, like, I had my wedding towards the year end, and I knew that I wanted to take time off. However, I did not want the business to stop, and I did not have a plan for that as well. I knew it was going to come, but it was like scaring me a little bit also. How will I manage? How will things go? But then I discussed with you, I remember discussing it with you when you told me all about Rotex and what was in there. And I discussed with you the things that I was looking at. And in the first call itself, it was not like a strategy call or anything. It was just discussion about my business and whether Rotex was suited for me or not. I got so much clarity. I was in the middle of the launch, but then I knew what I had to do immediately after in terms of like cleaning up a lot of stuff, because there were so many things going on for no need at all. Like, I was, of course, thinking in the best way for my business, but it was hampering my own, I would say, my mind space and the time that I had. So just the first call, it was not a paid call. It was not like I've not signed up, but that gave me so much clarity that I thought, like, this is the place that I want to be. I need a mentor constantly who I can check in with and discuss what my ideas and strategies are, because I have so many ideas, but then I can't work in all of them. That takes me nowhere. So for me to get that feedback from someone I look up to was needed, and to constantly be in like a community of people who are building their dreams and going hard at it, and you know that you're supported in there. So I think all of that really attracted me to come in there when I was struggling with not just, I would not say the financial aspect I wasn't struggling with as much. But I knew that to scale, because I had transitioned from being an agency, there were financial struggles as well. So if I made sense, please let me
Yeah,
know.
makes perfect sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think before you were getting pulled in different directions, you had many ideas and many products and many social media accounts as well, but didn't know like how to structure it, how to find the right offer, which one offer to scale. Should you do one offer or should you do multiple offers and all of that? So then back then you just had launched your freelancing course FGA, and it had just been the pre-sell phase of it when you joined Vortex. And then you were able to take a big break for your wedding and be able to completely enjoy it without worrying about your business burning to the ground. So let's come to the present. How are things doing right now? Where is FGA right now? Where is your state right now?
Things are amazing in terms of, like, till now we have launched FGA only in cohorts. So we have successfully launched 3 cohorts, and with the increased pricing also from the past 2 cohorts. So I remember after joining, we did a lot of changes. So from the second cohort onwards, the prices were almost, I would say, more than 3x, and it has been like selling well. And at the same time, the most important thing for me is to get the right people in who can be benefited, because I don't want people in just for the sake of it. And I think that is going super strong. We are at approximately 120 people inside, 118 to be precise, and they are getting amazing results. I think that is one of the things I'm super proud of, that people have crossed, like, within 3 months of joining FGA, they have crossed their 1 lakh months. They are working with international clients. There are like so many different kind of people inside, in terms of them being students working while they are studying. There are moms in there who quit their corporate jobs to be home with their kids. They are building their business by working 3 hours a day, scaling it up to $5,000, $6,000 months within 6 months of working together. And it's just like all of these stories are truly what makes me happy. And I'm all set to for FGA to actually be able to reach and be able to serve even more people who need our help in terms of building their own successful freelance businesses.
Yeah. So over the past 15 months or so, you have completed recording the program because you pre-sold it and then spent a few months recording it, and people are getting amazing results out of it. And you basically start from 0 to 118 core students right now. And so what's next for FGA?
Reaching 10,000 people, that's our goal for the next 2 years. And we are actually building a funnel such that it is reaching more and more people on an everyday basis than it being open in cohorts, while we still want to ensure that we are able to serve them in the best possible way, for which we have amazing resources. And like you said, I've recorded so much, but I keep on tweaking things, make things more interesting, even pruning stuff up that's not needed, because when you actually make it live, you realize the things that are actually dealing the journey. And this I've learned from you, like how to cut the fluff. Sometimes we feel like I always have the need to over explain because I want to give even, in any way possible. But now I've realized that me giving extra sometimes is actually delaying their process for them. So I've learned to prune stuff to make it even more crisper. I am also re-recording a couple of things to make them absolutely in alignment with what works right now, presently in 2023. And while we are making it all ready for it to explode and reach more and more people in this year. And my main mantra deep down is I help all kind of entrepreneurs or freelancers existing and aspiring, but I am deeply motivated by helping empower women to become financially free. I have seen a lot of cases in and around me across the news wherein I feel that women are they are in certain relationships, they are in certain jobs because they don't have the financial freedom and they can't take the decision because they're not making their own money. And specifically when the pandemic happened, a lot shifted. And that was when actually the program was birthed amidst the pandemic. And this is something which has been very, like, I've been strongly attached to it as my mission. And that is something I always hold on to whenever I think of growing it and helping it like reach people across India first, and then of course the globe as well. I'm open to more and more women, more and more people in general who can benefit from it. I want them to come in. I want to serve them in the best possible way.
That's so cool. And how much revenue has your business made in the entirety of your business?
I get a little uncomfortable talking numbers, but I'll give you an idea. We were a six-figure agency when we were operating like that. And post that, like overall, I would say in close to about 250 to three, like in between of 250 to $300,000. Here, some numbers here and there because I do consultations as well, and that varies. But for the coaching, for the agency, for the freelancing, around there. Yeah.
That's so cool. And so that's a multi six-figure business. That's amazing. And like, is that your main goal as well with your consultations, with your course, with how you run business to empower other women and of course other men as well, reach the six-figure agency or six-figure freelancing business?
Yes, absolutely. I'm consulting also right now. I work with a very few businesses one-on-one because I don't have the bandwidth to do like a lot of that. That's the reason I prefer going through with FG, as I can help more people like that. But I do work with a lot of small and medium-sized businesses who are already monetized, that they're making money, but they're facing difficulties in scaling due to traffic problem, funnel problem, other kind of problems that are there in their business. And I'm helping them scale. In fact, like some of my consulting clients have started from like a yearly revenue of about 4 to 5 L to begin with, and now they're at like the last year they closed at 35 lakhs. So it's like I want to empower as many businesses, as many women-owned businesses, but like I would say I'm more connected to heart there, so it always comes like that. But I am not against working with men and businesses owned by men as well. But yes, I truly want to help them. I want to help freelancers reach their own six-figure marks in their journeys. And not essentially six figures also, I would say, because my goal is to help them reach their goals. A lot of people don't want to make six figures. They want to make 1 lakh a month, and they're there. And I'm happy for them. Like, I have a mom inside who's at a $4,000 mark, which is approximately about 3.5 lakhs, 4 lakhs a month. And this is the base. She has some other one-on-one stuff that is over and above this, but this is the retainer projects that she works with by working just 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. She has to give the rest of the time to her kid. Like, he demands it. She likes doing that. And I think that is good for her. Like, I love that I've been able to help play whatever role that I could in her journey to help her reach that mark. So my goal is to help those businesses who want to reach the six-figure mark for sure get there, but for others to create their own free lifestyles, their own freedom lifestyles, wherein they're able to make the money they want to make. And a lot of people, I've seen them get started with, will I be able to make 30,000? I want to reach 30,000 mark. And today they're at 1 lakh beyond, because their goals have also changed while they came inside. They saw other people growing really well, and that has inspired them. So I would put it like that in a nutshell. I want to help them reach their dreams and definitely inspire them to dream big and then help them.
Yeah, I think we as women become uncomfortable talking about numbers, but I always notice that men never do. Like, they are always excited. They always, the first thing out of their mouth is, the numbers that they are making. But I think it's great that you're sharing, because honestly, you are inspiring to a lot of people already. And with you being so kind and gracious and honest about your journey and your numbers will just inspire more people, be it your clients, be it your audience, be it my audience. So all of us will appreciate that. And to like go from a job which was cool in such a cool company like Amazon to here, because I talk to a lot of people. I've been going on calls recently with a lot of prospects for Vortex. I know there are a lot of people who are doing so well at their jobs, making great money, but they are working so freaking much. They call themselves, not my words, their own words, that they are corporate slaves. And they feel like there's nothing out of this life. So it inspires them as well, people who are already doing well in their job but cannot see a way out of it. So how was your journey like in quitting your job and then becoming what you are today?
I would definitely share it, but with a warning, because I don't recommend people to follow like what I did. Because when I quit, I had no direction as to what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to build something of my own, and the job, like, money was never the reason to quit. Like you said, the people are making so much money, they're doing so well, but it's the freedom bit that attracted me more. That even if I then my goal was, even if I make half of what I was making, because I was making a lot in terms of what a fresh engineer does. It was that kind of a dream role and a dream company. So I was like, I'm okay with making half of it, even if I'm able to make that. Like, that was my goal first. My first goal was to make just half of what I was making while being able to do it from anywhere. And that happened. Like, that kind of freedom got associated with it because of you. I was contemplating leaving the job because it was not aligning with my long-term goals, and I knew it was a huge company. I knew the money was a lot, but I was always constantly telling myself that I am doing good work here, although I'm not happy, but I'm doing good work here, and I know that the money is always going to be more than this, because I am going to get the yearly incentives and bonuses and everything, the raise. So I was like, this is a lot of money for people in different roles, but this is like the least amount of money I am making in my corporate. So the risk is right now the least. I don't have any family I need to support, because you of course see your scenarios around yourself, and I see I was single. I was not getting married anytime soon. I was not like my family, my parents were independent from the very beginning, thank God for that. And so basically, and they were always standing beside me, that whatever decision I am to make, I can make it. So I was contemplating what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to build some value in the world, but I did not have a direction. Because initially when you begin, like for me, it was not that this is the change I want to create. I was very sure about it. That gradually got shape, I would say, that, to help empower women, to provide them with the skill set. Then when I had started, I had no idea. So just when I had put my papers, some injury also happened, because of which I thought of doing it way sooner. And I was in the brink of making that decision, that I actually saw your ad, which was about, working from anywhere. And that was something which excited me so much more than the money which was possible with freelancing. It was that, the money is okay, it's great, it's more than Amazon, maybe it's less than Amazon, but the idea of working from anywhere, of having the time freedom, because of course I was like working in a job wherein I was literally working a lot, like the whole day on my feet. It was that kind of a role, that it was physically also exhausting. So this sounded like something very exciting, and I had put my papers, that my notice period was going on, when I like explored more on this, on the direction that I wanted to go. And I had given my cat 2 times before, but I had just given it, like, not even prepared for it, because my career path in my mind was that I will, like, post my engineering, I'll do two years of my job, and then I will do an MBA, then 2 years of a job, and then I would quit and start something of my own. So to start something, to create something, was always my dream. My dad is an entrepreneur. He's always like, I'm always inspired by him. But I had no idea what, when, what, and how. So when I quit, like a year into my corporate, I quit. That was like, it the dream was the same, but the timelines changed massively. That I had not even expected it. So since I had given like cat 1 or 2 times, just like that, and I scored well. Like, I don't know how, but I scored well in those exams, and I had gotten into IIMs as well. I'd gotten into IIM Indore, or not once but twice, and some other new IIMs as well. And I not filled papers of so many other colleges, because in my mind, the goal was never to do an MBA. I was just giving the exam because my friends, my flatmates were giving it. So I thought I'll also just go and, like, play around. So then when I quit, I was also contemplating on whether I should do my MBA now. I have a year's experience. I can go in for that also. Like, but this freelancing dream, this building a freedom business for myself, kept like coming in front of me. So I thought, screw it, I'll just give my all in here, and then if at all it doesn't work, I'll see if I want to do an MBA. And doing an MBA always called out to me in a way that, even though I had gotten into IIMs before, my goal was always, to choose it when I had prepared for it. Even if I got the same college, I was fine with it. But I knew I needed to know what my potential is with it. Like, not just go in because I got in, to go in when I give my 100%. So I was like, I'll do my MBA. My mom was like, you can, you have this offer also. I had that offer on when I had quit. It was the same months when the admissions were going on. So I had this offer. She was saying that you can also go here. But I wasn't ready to do that till I had prepared for CAT at least once, and given it my full in. Like, I had not prepared for any GD, any interview, and just gone like this, because I had no time, being a complete 9 to 9, or I would say 8 to 9 kind of job in Amazon. So that is how I was like, yeah, I'll stop a bit, I'll just start and explore this, and then I'll see later on. And that day never came. It never came back to me wanting to do an MBA. I have huge respect for the ones who do, but it was never, I realized that maybe it was in my plan, but it was never the right thing for me. My sister has done it and she's doing amazingly well, and I'm happy for her, but it was not the right fit for me. And I somehow did not feel the need of going back there till now, at least. And that's how I began. I got tiptoed in this world by you, because of you. So I have always followed your journey, always been connected with you. I remember discussing things with you because I had gotten in another program. However, and I had asked you, and you said that if you're in there, you don't need to come into my program. And I love such honesty. And I think that's something that has become a core part of my business as well. I would never say yes to someone I feel does not need my program. And that was the first time you were selling Be Your Own Boss at that time. It was named, the MA was named Be Your Own Boss at that time. And you said you don't need it. And I was like, fine, but we stayed in touch. And then I somehow could not stop myself from joining your community as well, because I love the community aspect of it. And I wanted a community of freelancers in my own country, because the struggles are different. So although I was a part of that program outside India, I wanted to really join your community, and I joined you almost like not just, I think, less than a year into freelancing. In 2019, I started. I still remember I got in June, and I started implementing right there. So ever since, also, it has been incredible. I started by freelancing first with all the skill set I learned as a social media marketer, gradually upskilled myself to learn sales funnels, Facebook ads. And I was like a one-person team for very less time. I would say I onboarded people very soon in my journey, thanks to my mentors who always were like, if you feel the need is there, you should go that way. Although I still, like, when I look back now, I feel that it might have been scary at that time, but I'm glad I took the right decision. So very soon we were an agency. And the first 3-4 months, I did not make any money in my business because I was not aiming to. My goal was to actually, focus on the skill set. And I was all in. So I was working on projects, but I was doing it like for people I know for free, just to like get a flavor of things. And now I know the right strategies in order to start getting paid also soon. But that was not my goal then. But then when I got my first client, I think 4 or 5 months into learning and honing the skill set, I got my first paid client. The gig was at 10,000 rupees per month for social media marketing. But very soon, like, because of the skill set development and everything happened, I like the money that I was making started increasing. Like the next month, I think I made about 25 something, then 50, then very soon, like the next 3-4 months, I crossed a lakh. And then it was like upwards from there. And I think a 6-figure agency happened sooner than I had planned for. So that's how it essentially started. And gradually I have pivoted to become a coach because I realized I enjoy coaching more, and I enjoy helping create that impact out there in the world. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Sorry if I went into loops there.
Yeah, I think that gives like a very clear picture of your journey, because I talk with a lot of people, and also there are some people inside Vortex as well who are debating whether to do like a master's abroad or their own MBA, because I think they are at a stage where either the parents are telling them to do, or they feel like people around them are doing something. So they're like, should I do the business? Should I do master's? So I think that gives like a clarity on like what is possible for you. And so you pivoted to coaching. So tell me, like, what would you say to someone who is thinking, because I know you were getting pretty high ticket deals as an agency when you were doing one-on-one work. So what would you advise someone who is like transitioning from, one-on-one to one-to-many offers?
I would simply say to realize, number one, where their heart is. Because it is not wrong to scale as an agency. It's simply something I realized, like having those conversations, seeing you, talking to other entrepreneurs, that the scale that I wanted, I did not want to go down the agency route with it personally. I wanted like few people, but very special, skilled people in my team. However, not like a huge ass team to manage, and good systems. That is, I think, a lean mean team was more my thing. And well, before that, basically coaching happened for me, to be very honest, just by accident. Like I started working on my Instagram because I was testing strategies for clients. So I thought, first let me do it on my account and then see. And it started like spiraling upwards from there. I started attracting a lot of people who needed help but could not afford agency services for by us. And I could not serve so many people at a low ticket pricing also. It was not suitable for my business. So I basically gave them the option of coaching them. And I could do only like 3-4 a month because, again, being a full-time agency, it was not possible. And gradually, I made it into a program which was more of a group-oriented nature so that I could impact more people. But basically, I became a coach because people asked for it. And when I started doing it 101 and then in the group format, I realized that I enjoy this so much more. And to scale, like, I know that you need to be focused and you need to really build something, as I had done with the agency. So I knew I had to choose whether that needs to be my mainstream and this is just add on for maybe as a hobby thing that I'll do, or this needs to be my mainstream. And I took a lot of time to make this decision because I was loving the impact we were creating there, and we were extremely profitable as an agency. And I know that when you have to switch, there comes a low that you need to be prepared to take. So I really thought about it. But I, like, my heart lies in coaching. I realized that a little late, but I did. And I'm so glad I did that. I knew that the scale the number of people I could impact by becoming a coach, even though it'll take longer, even though I'd have to see that dip, but it'll be so much more fulfilling to me. Not just financially, finances, of course, matter. And I love talking about money in general. Just the numbers a little bit get me, like we were discussing, not very comfortable talking about them. But I love talking about money in general, that it's not something that people feel that if you talk about money, it goes into the greed zone. I feel money is empowering and it helps people fulfill so many of their dreams and those of their loved ones. So, like, of course, that was a concern, but I saw like a long-term vision for it, for the money. And then I made this switch into more coaching. Gradually, I let go of my clients because they weren't ready to let go of us. So we wanted to support them in a way such that their transitions happen with other marketing agencies. Until then, we were supporting them, but I eventually took a switch. I experimented with a lot of things, even as a coach, and so many of them did not work. So many of them did work, and gradually, like very gradually, and if I am to say, like very mindfully, FGA's idea was born in order to help people follow the journey that I followed, which made me like the success that I saw as a freelancer was, I feel I was not prepared for it. I thought that would take longer. So I think that is something which I feel like the process, the things that we did, the things that work, it helps you monetize and become like start tasting that freedom very soon. And I wanted to help more and more people achieve that. So I think that's how I switched to coaching, because my heart lied there. But then to think about the numbers, also the kind of format of business I wanted, the kind of impact, the number of people I could reach as a lean team and a very functional team of a few people, a few high-powered individuals, was huge as compared to me building an agency wherein I needed a lot more people to scale, because a lot of the things were taken care of by exclusively me. So I was still lacking the time freedom there. And I knew it will take time, but I saw this as the thing that was calling out to me, made sense business wise, made sense like with respect to the passion, the kind of fulfillment I get when I, like, the calls that I have every week with my students inside, with my clients inside FGA are like my favorite. And similarly, the second favorite is being mentored by you coming into Vortex calls, because I feel so much collaboration happens, so many new ideas, the right kind of thoughts are born in those calls, that is really powerful. And I love conducting those as well inside my own community. So that's how I made the transition to one-to-many offers than one-on-one.
Makes sense. And what would you say is the best part about the Vortex Mastermind in your opinion? Like, what has been the most helpful to you in your journey over the past more than a year or so?
There's more than one Roota. I would try to keep it succinct, but I have more than one. The primary thing is to have your eyes on my business, very honestly, for you to give me, like just 2 days ago, you gave me very straight feedback on which you felt could be coming out a little harshly, but it wasn't. It was just what I needed to hear, because I had so many things come up, and so many ideas, so many strategies you have, that you get distracted. You need that person who sees your business inside out, sees the kind of mess that you're getting yourself into, to ensure that you are set and focused on the right way. And for that person to have that hold on you, that I listen to you. That doesn't happen with anyone out there. It just happens with the right kind of mentor whom you trust is looking at the best interests for you, even if it's coming off like that. So I think having your eyes on the business, having you to ask any question to talk to literally get very candid about your business, to understand how you are thinking about certain things, certain strategies you're playing out in your business, to get an insider's perspective on that. I think that is by far the best. I love the calls because of the same. I love being in a community of such high powered individuals, high powered women, seeing them do such awesome stuff every day. And some days when you're low, I try to make it a point, even during my wedding. I think the last call that I attended before going on my break was the Vortex call. And the first thing that I attended post coming back was again the Vortex call, because it is difficult to come back from a break. So it was not easy for me to get back into the momentum of things after having so much fun, but in a totally different direction for the festivities and everything. So I started attending the calls again, because I think even when you are feeling inspired, that is a great place to be in. And even if you're not feeling inspired, you're feeling low, you need support, sometimes even without saying anything, you get all that you need to know from the call itself. So I think those two things are by far the best. Other than that, I love, because I've seen Be Your Own Boss version 1, like MEA version 1, version 2, version 3, all the upgrades, and then I see Vortex. So I love how you have evolved as a coach as well, and I love how the content that you have in there is something I've not checked out everything till now. It's been more than a year in there, but I know that whenever I need something, I just go to that part, I get it, and I implement it. So I think having those kind of resources, which I know are like, I love the fact that they're succinct, they're to the point, they're not super long, elaborated just for the sake of it. Even if there are longer lessons, they are because they're needed. And I know I'll get everything in there. Like I am working on something, and for that, I know I need to check out two specific, very specific lessons inside Vortex. And I know I'll just do that, and it'll set me up for implementing and upwards from there. So I think very difficult to say just one thing. So these three are like, I would say, the topmost. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, because I know Vortex was created keeping in mind busy entrepreneurs or busy corporate professionals who are wanting to pivot. So I think that is the number one question I get on our Vortex, decision making calls that I go on. It's like, how much time do I have to put in? Because they think that, they probably compare it with some other courses they've taken in the past, or probably MA was like 50 hours long, or some Udemy courses or whatever. But like Vortex is just like 20 hours of the core content, because I believe like fast execution is the key. Like whatever gets you execute the fastest is the way that I've taken. And actually, I was just telling my team about it. I've decided to work on Vortex 2.0 as well. So, because I know like I have so much more to share and so many ways to make things faster for our clients inside. And, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, thanks for sharing that. And what would you advise anyone, Tejal, who is on the fence about applying to Vortex? Like if they feel like they don't have the right offer, or they don't have the right background, or they feel like the investment is too much, what would you like to say to them?
Note, I'm glad that you said that you have like made Vortex so concise. I am actually inspired by you and the content in there to make FGA in a way that it gets people fastest execution and fastest solution. So I think you inspire me every day in that regard. Just wanted to bring it first. And then actually coming to your question, which is about, like, I would say the easiest thing for people to do is to book a call, because your team are there to tell them if it's a right fit for them or not. First of all, like, to not have that question of how much time, for example, would be needed to be invested. Like, I don't invest a lot of time into Vortex. I just go in there, get in what I need, and come back. And of course, I contribute wherever I can, but it's not that I am bound to spend like 4 hours daily in there. That is not something that's the format of it. Likewise, if someone is confused about their offer, they will get all the guidance they need to create the best offer for their business in Vortex. So you don't have to worry if you don't have like an offer. If you have an offer that you're unsure about, even if like you feel you want to sell something, you aren't really sure about which direction it's going, maybe it's sold a few spots here and there, you can come in there and sometimes your entire business can have an overhaul inside, because you have all the resources that you need to get your mind thinking in the right direction. You have Roota, you have her team, you have so many other community members who will give you pointers. Like, I love that about the community, that people pitch in. It's not that in the call only Roota is supposed to answer everything, because everyone is having different experiences. If someone feels that I can contribute something, they would say, they would message, or even if not there, then they'll post in the community about it. And I think that's the best. So if you are having any doubts about anything, the first thing you can do, like if you've not booked a call or applied with them, is to apply. Because if you're not a right fit, they would tell that to you by themselves. If you're a right fit, they would guide you the best possible way to get started. But don't worry about, this is not right, this is not done yet, because all of those things will be taken care of inside with the content, with the community, and with the coaching that's available. And then to come to the investment, I would say that nothing good comes cheap. So basically, I would not even call it a high ticket investment based on the ROI anyone can have inside. So if you think like, yes, 3 lakh is a lot of money, 5 lakh is a lot of money, just some random numbers in there, then like, are you even ready to make that 1 CR next year or to make even 20 lakhs next year? So I would say that whatever the numbers you are seeing, like if I am to talk about my programs also in the same way, like people can be scared and on the fence about, investing 20,000, 30,000. But the next 3 months later, if you're making a lakh, if you see the kind of ROI you can have, then I think the decision making process gets faster. But yes, only if it's a right fit for you. And for that, they're there to help you. They'll tell you if it's not a right fit for you, because no one, I know that from being an insider in the coaching industry, that no one would want anyone in it just for the money. Because if it was just about money, we would not be coaching. That is a journey you get someone on, you get invested in their success. And for that to happen, they just, like, every coach wants the right kind of person they can actually help. It is on you to do the implementation, but she's here to guide and support in every way possible. And along with it, I think the resources are amazing. Everything that even your team creates whenever anyone needs it, some add-on stuff here, their trainings, I think all of that comes in so handy. So I would personally recommend it totally. But if anyone is having any questions or doubts about their own specific scenario, then definitely get on a call or apply and they would let you know.
Yeah. So you guys, if you want to apply to the Vortex Mastermind, go ahead. The link is in the description. If you want to work closely with me for the next 12 months. And like Tejal said, like everyone is supportive inside the community. Same as well with Tejal. Like she pours into other people who need help without getting asked. She pours into like whoever needs help or needs support, emotional as well as strategic support. So it's so cool to see everyone collaborate. So you guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like the video and let Tejal know in the comment what was the most inspiring part about her journey. I'm sure she would love to go through that. And Tejal, if they want to find you and your work online, how can they do that?
Simply, I think the social media channels that we have are the best place to get in touch with us to get started, which is Tejal Chopra on Instagram and then Tejal Chopra 8. We did not get Tejal Chopra there on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn also is something we've been very active at, and you can find us either of the places. And let's get in touch. And definitely, if you decide to get inside Vortex also, I am there, definitely signed up for the next whole year as well. So I will also be there along with all of the amazing community members to support you, to cheer you on. I think sometimes that's just what you need.
Yeah, I think I also, since you said, how many followers you have on Instagram and LinkedIn?
Instagram, we are at 30,000, and LinkedIn, we are very close to 20,000.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, last question, because I know I always like to see, okay, whoever is watching this, what can they take away from this, regardless of whether they sign up for Vortex or not? What would you say to someone who is wanting to grow their own personal brand right now in 2023, be it on Instagram, be it on LinkedIn or any other platform? But since you are, you know more about these two platforms, what would you say to them?
I think being consistent is something which is often not valued as much as, like just pumping content for the sake of it. So even if the frequency doesn't, like frequency of maybe posting twice a day, 10x a week doesn't work for anyone, just get started with 3 to 4 times as of posting. But it's important to show up consistently for your business, irrespective of the platform. We've been very active, like on LinkedIn, we've grown in a year. We were at 1,000 last year in June, July, and we are at almost 20,000 this month. We will touch in June. So we've been very consistent with it. Even when I was even when we had the wedding, I had my team working behind the scenes and we were going there. Instagram is something I've personally built. We've taken time to build it, but I love the kind of community we have in there. So I would not say to go after the follower number blindly, because I would not say my follower reaches like something, in 3 months we have touched 100K or 30K, something like that. We've been building it gradually. But what is important is to get the right people in. That will happen if you are showing up consistently with your messaging that is like, connecting with the right kind of people. Because if we are like, I know what to do to go viral, but then I don't want to get that audience with the associated virality, which is not the right fit for me. So I think it's important to value the right people for your business while you're building your personal brand. And to get them on, you definitely need to be consistent with content creation, and also leveraging what is happening in the world. Like short form video is in. So even if you want to do like other forms of content, by all means do that, but leverage what's working. So like with respect to YouTube shorts, with respect to even short form video is working like decently well on LinkedIn as well. Like for us, it doesn't work awesomely well like it does in probably other platforms. However, it is amazing. The video part is amazing to create a connection. So I would say like just leverage all the pieces on all the platforms, but definitely make the most of what is working on that platform in the highest possible way. And the only thing I would say is to be consistent. Like keep going, even if your content is not perfect. No one's content is perfect. We are experimenting hugely on Instagram right now. Probably going to go into a growth spurt here next because that's the focus area now. But again, not with the wrong kind of people, just with the right fits. We need the right fits, not unnecessary followers just for the sake of the number game. So I would just say like make the most of these amazing free social media platforms that are available for you. You just make sure that you invest the right kind of time in there and make the most of it.
Makes sense. All right, Tejal, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And all of those who are still on the fence about Vortex, just apply. There's no, like I would say, there's no risk associated in applying. You can always not sign up. You can always, like, they will tell you the best fit actually or not. But I would definitely recommend apply and give your business that kind of support that it needs to truly like skyrocket. Because so much is possible, so much is there on the other side. But oftentimes we think that okay, maybe this investment is not right now. Maybe we'll do it like a year later. A year later, that investment would be more, and probably you would be stuck the same place. So think about what is possible. Just if the investment is holding you back. If it is not aligned, then it's different. But sometimes I think we have money shadow our decisions a lot. And if that's happening, you need to do some internal work and get it out of the way. All the best.
Cool.